Mark, what's going on, man?
What's up, Austin? How you doing, man?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on today. I'm very, very excited to learn about your experience with Dippidi and everything that we've been able to accomplish for you since January of this year.
Yeah.
Um, First off, let's kind of like hit the ground running here for the viewers that are watching this. Can you give us a little background on yourself, your story, and how you got into real estate?
Sure, yeah. A bridge version is I was a professional actor for many years. Worked in New York, did stage shows, did Broadway shows, and then I worked at Disney. Got into real estate into 2016. Joined a team. I was a team member on there for about 2 years, and then my wife and I moved brokerages and started our own team in 2018. Since then, we've grown the team from 2 people to 24 people. We were based in Orlando. That's where I am. We now have teams in Nashville, Louisville, Jacksonville, and New York. So kind of all over the place. Last year, we sold 238 homes, a little under 94 million. We're a mega icon team with eXp Realty, rock and rolling, still looking to grow, adding agents and trying to beat every year. It's kind of exhausting every year trying to beat what you did last year. It's just like,
Yeah.
when's the ceiling? Well, there is no ceiling, I guess, but yeah. So that's kind of where that's the real estate story. A quick version.
No, I love that. I love that. No, and you've had some, I would say, quick success, right? I mean, not that it was overnight success. You guys put in a lot of work, and you can see it in your marketing and your advertising and your service and everything, which we'll dive deeper a little bit here on in a second. But you came to us, I think, in probably November of last year is when we first started talking.
Yeah.
What brought you to Dippidi, and like what were some of the pain points and goals that you had in mind when looking for someone to hire like Dippidi?
Sure. Well, our brand is a little more unique, I would say, than most real estate agents, real estate teams, realtors. We kind of keep it a loose feel to everything. We have these, superhero cartoons for each agent. They each get their own brand, their own logo. So ours is very different. So what I was doing before, I was actually with a CRM KV Core. And to get online leads, I was basically just clicking like, hey, I want online leads, run me a Google ad. And it was really generic. So the lead sources weren't great. We were getting them, but it was just clicking on like a basic search, a basic home, a basic ad. So we made the move to the CRM Follow-Up Boss, and that didn't have a front end website, right? So then we made the move to hire Agent Fire to build our custom website because I wanted us to look different. I wanted us to feel different. And my main goal with that website was to have people come there to not search for homes, but to find a real estate agent. You know what I mean? To start to know who we are, start to understand, start to want to start to work with us. Be like, I love that guy. I want to work with him. I love that girl. She's awesome. She's going to help me. As opposed to like, oh, there's 123 Main Street. Let me click on this and see if an agent will show up. Right. So when that happened, I told them my story and they were like, hey, you need to talk to Dippidi. I was like, well, I don't even know what that word means. So, I know you and I got connected and we started talking, and my pain points were I really wanted specific marketing for our brand and for our team. So that when people came to our website, they weren't just, it wasn't more of a, hey, I need this really quick. I'll probably use my agent that I already have, but can you tell me more about this house? I wanted it to feel like, hey, I want to work with this. I need more information from you personally, Mr. Home Squad agent, So that's when you guys started rolling. We got Orlando going, we got Nashville going, we got Louisville going with Google ads, as well as Facebook. I think social media now is more branding and marketing. I pulled we changed the strategy, which was awesome that Jared called me and said, hey, let's change the strategy. So basically we have the Google PPC ads running. I know that they're very specific to, their home searches, but they look different. They feel different. You guys let me look at everything before. That was really important to me. I wanted to make sure that it was on brand. You guys are very into that. I mean, just probably more than the actual ad content or what it says, the visuals, everything. So that started rolling. We started doing the social media ads, but I have a different thought than most. I don't want leads from social media. Nobody goes to Facebook or Instagram to search for a home. They go there to be social, right? And then every once in a while, they're like, oh yeah, I am searching for a home. Let me click on that. But we wanted it to be basically retargeting. the people who
Yep.
already were on our website or on our, Google, hit the Google ads. So you guys are doing that as well, which is fantastic. I know that people are kind of seeing us all the time now, as opposed to just like one time, hope they click. It's a
Yep.
reminder like, oh, we're still here. We're still here. And the ads are fun and different and more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So, but yeah, we've let's see, in Orlando, I mean, I don't know, we've gotten a lot of leads. So I can probably check real quick. Actually, why don't I do that? Let me
Awesome.
see. But we've had, let me see, from Orlando Home Squad, we've had 413 leads this year.
So this is just Orlando, not the other markets.
Right. Yeah, and it all
Okay.
depends on cost, obviously, too.
Yep.
413. Nashville, we've had 120. In Louisville, we've had 67 leads come through.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you've had some pretty good results so far in terms of conversations, as well as maybe closed a few deals, right?
Yeah. So let me look at that really quick. Lead reporting, lead sources. Yeah. So we just closed our first one last week, I believe, and it was an $887,000 property in Orlando. So that was
Awesome.
pretty cool. And then we have one under contract in Nashville for a new construction at $950,000. And then
Awesome.
another, we have two more under contract in Orlando, one at, 450 and the other, I think, at 385. So
Awesome. Awesome.
four,
So
four
four
deals,
deals
four
in the
legitimate deals
first 6 months.
easily. Yep.
Amazing.
For sure.
Now, obviously, what's super cool is like, I don't think I think Dippidi attributes to that success. I think there's a lot that goes into making that successful and closing those deals. One thing that I think you do that's great to make these campaigns successful is you actually have that omni-channel advertising approach. So we're driving traffic on Google, we're remarketing on Facebook, not using Facebook for lead capture, but you're also now just started running YouTube ads with us as
I
well.
sent one in
So
today.
yeah, I saw that come in. I saw it
Yeah.
come in. Yeah, I
Yeah.
checked it out. So I'm excited to see how they perform. Like this one, you're going to actually be targeting buyers across the entire country, which is
Right.
really, really cool.
Yeah. So it should be pretty vast on that one.
Now, on the back end of that, what's your structure set up like for you to follow up? Because that's obviously how these are turning into conversations. So what's
Right.
that look like? As soon as the leads generated, what's your team doing? Are you guys doing, I know we set up some action plans and things like that, but are you guys also
Mhm.
doing phone calls? What's that cadence look like?
Yeah, sure. So it's we have it on a first to claim. So whoever's available, claim it, and we have a pretty clear direction of, you have to don't just collect leads. You know what I mean? If you're in an appointment or sitting on the toilet, like don't claim it. I mean, if you can't call right then. So we have our agents call immediately, and they know the opportunity. They also know what 97% of them are going to be bad, right? That's just
Yep.
the expectation. But they also have risen their hand to say, I'm going to move someday, maybe not now.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely have them call right away. We have automated texts that go out, then we put them, it goes into an action plan with follow-up boss, depending on what it is. And it's basically an action plan it's not like there's emails, but I didn't want to just send like passive emails. I never got a client or a lead because I sent a bunch of passive emails that didn't mean anything. So we have tasks of like, call today. The next day is like, text them to say like, hey, I got it. The third day, you're going to find them on social media, try to friend them or try to follow them on Instagram so they at least know you're a real person. Fourth day, call them. After 10 days, it does go into a nurture. Obviously some people are going to register and not do it, but I would say all of our agents are really good with follow-up. They understand the opportunity. They understand like the situation that it is. And then if it does, if they don't get them in the first, I think, year, it does go into like a pond or a pool or something, but and then anybody has access to those, but that sometimes those don't work out, but that's all right.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's what's kind of cool is you have those leads in the database to be able to export that database. And then you're doing videos that you're constantly submitting to us as ad requests for remarketing.
Right.
And so you can remarket that database. So even though they're in this pond that you haven't been able to get a hold of them or haven't been able to get in touch with them, they're still seeing your content and seeing your ads in their newsfeed. And we know that because we're targeting them through your database on social media. So
Right.
it's a cool way to do like long-term nurturing No different than email marketing or postcards or anything like that.
Yeah, with the social media and the retargeting, it takes away a lot of the if you drop the ball on follow up. To be honest, you know what I mean. Not that you want to, but we get busy as agents and people, and sometimes you're like, oh man, that person has never answered their phone. I only have, I got to bang through these 30 people. I'll skip this one, right? So even if you do that, or if somebody drops a ball, they're still seeing us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're still seeing us, and overall, that might not get us the business, but at the same time, it might. You know what I mean? We don't know.
Right. They're in there. You're probably spending pennies on pennies and dimes on making sure that you stay in front of them, especially just reach, and then
Yep.
getting them to click or engage or anything like that is different, right? That's a little bit better of
Right.
a metric, right? But
Right.
so what's cool about remarketing too is that it's almost like somebody shouting your brand or representing your brand while you are on the toilet and while you are sleeping,
Right.
right? Like
Well,
it's
it's what I teach the agents on the team when they're, when you first get in the business, you're like, oh, sphere. Everybody says sphere, right? Your sphere is going to be your number one thing, and you don't really understand that. But because the first thing you do is think like, well, I don't know anybody who needs to buy a house right now in my sphere. There's not one person. I said, well, those aren't the people you're not worried about them. You want your sphere to basically be your megaphone when you're not around. You know what I mean? So you're training them to always say your name, even when you're not there. And that's how the retargeting is. Like the internet, right? Facebook, social media, YouTube is saying our team name over and over again to people when we're busy, we're doing something else.
Yes.
And that's where everybody is. Everybody's on. I mean, this is entertainment right here, right? That's where we always are. My screen time goes up every week and I get disgusted, but then I'm like, well, it's part of my business.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, if your screen time went down, I imagine so would your income.
right.
It's pretty, they go hand in hand.
Totally.
So man, you kind of crushed through all my questions for me. Like you gave me the fire out the gates.
Good.
We got to talk about your story. We talked about the pain points you had, the goals, what the solutions we're offering you with Google PPC, Facebook remarketing, YouTube. And honestly, I think, how are you feeling from the service level? I mean, from our entire team, from Jared to me to all the way across the board. And you can be honest, rip us apart.
I will.
How's it going?
Yeah, I will. I'll be 100% transparent. You guys are top notch. Like I texted you this morning. You know what I mean? Like you guys are all reachable. Jared is fantastic. Even the fact that he called me and said, hey, this looks a little weird with the Facebook ads. We should try this. And I was like, I wouldn't even, the whole point of you guys is to leverage my time, right? I mean, not the whole point, but that I could probably figure this all out, right? And you can learn anything. I didn't used to know how to walk, so I could have learned it. But at the same time, I needed you guys to do it. And the fact that it wasn't just a click and like, all right, well, we got your ads rolling, on to the next client, right? You guys are in our world and in our business, and you really have a passion to make us better, make my team better, get me more income, have me more sales, give me more sales. So that's something I didn't realize until we were working together, that I truly appreciate, even from, we message each other on Instagram or TikTok, right? So like you want me to be successful, and like, truly,
absolutely.
and that's different. That's different than most, I'll be honest,
I love that, man. I appreciate that. No, we truly care. Our background, a lot of us have different backgrounds in service, and actually not a background in sales at all. So like, I don't know if anybody in the company has a background in sales at all. It's all service based, and so that's our focus. Is being that Chick-fil-A of real estate marketing, right? Like being the Publix of real estate marketing is just constant service. And
no, you guys,
so I appreciate you recognize that.
You guys have changed a lot of our stuff. So it just takes a lot of stress away from me, which is super cool.
Oh man, I appreciate that. That's the goal. And so I'm happy that we do that. So I guess the final question would be, if somebody you knew was considering Dippidi, what would you tell them? Like, if they called you right now, like, hey man, I just talked to Dippidi. I don't know, the Hunter guy I just spoke to, he's kind of weird. Like, what should I think about here? How should I be going through with this?
Yeah, I mean, I would ultimately say just trust the process, trust what you guys do, and just know that you don't have to stress about it anymore. Real estate agents, we're not, I mean, I consider myself a marketer with a real estate license, but at the same time, I got to sell real estate if I want to spend money on marketing, you know?
Yep.
So my main job is to sell homes and to help people move. Right. So you guys, your main job is to help me do that. So
Mhm.
I would say like hire somebody, especially Dippidi, because they take the stress away. They're going to want you to succeed. You're not just going to be another client, or another paycheck for them. So I would 100% use it, and be patient. You know, a lot of people, and I had that mistake go early on in my career, is, you know, you don't see results right away. You're like, we haven't closed anything, turn it off, you know, but at the same time, with the way you guys do it, it's not a funnel. It's that, what do you call it? The wheel? What do you guys call it?
Yeah, yeah, the flywheel.
The
Yeah.
flywheel. That is genius, because if a funnel happens and you just get one shot at it, but the way you guys are doing this flywheel is that it's just a constant burn of online presence. And that's what's important in selling real estate. Yes, it's referral based. Yes, it's sphere based, but you got to make your sphere bigger. And to do that, you need an online presence, and you have to be top of mind. And you guys help at a high level with that.
Awesome, man. I appreciate those kind words.
Yep.
And I don't want to take credit for the flywheel. That's HubSpot all day. You know, we just study marketing, and that's their thing.
Yeah,
And
but it's
that
cool.
they went from the funnel to the flywheel, and it's amazing, man.
It's so much
It is
better.
genius.
Yep.
It really is. It really is. That's the omni-channel approach. It's the goal of like putting a little bit of budget in different channels and being everywhere.
Yep.
So
Being
and that's
everywhere.
what you're doing, and you're doing it great. You're on YouTube, Google. I'm sure you're doing postcards. I'm sure are you still door knocking? I'm sure you are. Like at some point, no.
No. I took away all the cold calls, and the social media is just and video is where the focus is now. I did all that. I can if I need, if everything crumbles, I guess.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
no, I
If
don't.
satellites were to fall and you gotta, internet
Yeah,
goes away,
I
it's
could I
time
could
to go
door
back
knock
to
if I
door
need
knocking.
to, but I feel like that's your boot camp. That's your hardcore training as a real estate agent. You just do all that to get it out of the way, and then do the fun stuff.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, hey, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to do this. This is extremely helpful for us and our team just to be able to honestly hear from clients. Sometimes you don't always get to hear the feedback. Some
Sure.
people hold it to themselves. So to be able to hear it from you is great. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, man. Always, anytime.
Awesome. Thanks.